Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the match here on WWE 2K25. We kick the day off with some tag team action as the Young Bucks, who are the most used tag team ever in SWE after 27 matches, take on a team that have never wrestled before in SWE in the Outrunners. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to actually utilize the Outrunners, to be honest with you. But first of all, the Young Bucks, absolutely terrible form. Over the last 2 years alone, they've had 5 matches and lost all 5. They currently sit on -3 after 27 matches. It's just been really bad for them, to be honest. I mean, we've spoon-fed them a couple of matches this year that really should have been easy victories to help boost them up the rankings, and they still continue just to lose, and lose. I think the most recent match was one up against Marshall and Ross Von Erich, which was supposed to be an easy match for the Young Bucks to try and turn their year around and build some momentum, but it did not work. I say, they are the most used team we've ever had in SWE with 27 matches, and they currently sit on -3. Just in case you're interested, the second most used team is FTR on 23 matches. Then we've got, it's down as Death Triangle, but it's essentially the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix at 21 matches. The Brothers of Destruction, 18 matches. Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the Brainbusters, 18 matches. Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane, Midnight Express, 17 matches. Malachi Black and Brody King, 16 matches as well. 8th position, we've got Kevin Nash and Scott Hall after 16 matches. Batista and Randy Orton of Evolution had 14 matches, and finally in 10th position, we've got a couple of teams joint. Tama Tonga and Tangaloa, the Gorillas of Destiny, after 14 matches, and the Briscoe brothers as well, Mark and Jay. So yeah, the Outrunners, never used them before, which surprised me, to be honest. Brand new onto our ranking system, obviously currently sitting at 0 wins from, 0 points from 0 matches in general, as you can probably guess. And of course, never been on the singles rankings either, so absolute brand new debut. I'm surprised it's taken me so long, because they have been a very popular tag team, and I would like to utilize them quite a bit moving forward. I feel like the Outrunners taking on some of the legends of wrestling tag teams, I think is going to be pretty good for us. I'd like to see the Outrunners versus the Midnight Express versus the Brainbusters and versus the Rockers. Just all those sort of old school tag teams that the Outrunners just really blend well with. So it is standard Tornado tag team rules. Well, not standard. It's WWE 2K25 tag team rules, which means no disqualification for some apparent reason. Of course, no countouts. First pinfall or submission will get the victory, and it also only can take place inside the confines of the ring. So this should be interesting, because this is not as easy a match as we have given the Bucks this year. Obviously, we fed them the Von Erichs as a bit of an easier one, but it did not work out well for them. This, I think, will be more difficult. The Outrunners are not a bad team on this at all. They've got pretty decent ratings, nothing outlandish. I mean, they're never going to be, well, they might fight for the Tag Team Championships, don't get me wrong, but I feel like the YouTube Tag Team Championships would be a good option for the Outrunners. That's their sort of area, I believe. Where did it even come from? Because I'd never heard of the Outrunners at all until they turned up on AEW, to be honest. I'd never heard anything of them. I'm assuming they are an older tag team. They only debuted in 2021 as the Outrunners. Truth, Magnum, Turbo, Floyd. Who are they then? There's nothing about them on here, on Wikipedia. Let me just search for the individual people. Truth, Magnum. Truth, Magnum. No, nothing at all. They've come from OVW, by the looks of it. They were in OVW up until 2022, by the looks of it. But apart from that, I just don't know. If someone's actually asked it in Reddit, what are the story of the Outrunners before they hit AEW? They're fresh out of high school, juiced up and ready to cut loose. They won the Miami High School State Tag Team Championship Wrestling 9 consecutive years in a row. It's just a canon story, isn't it? They were in OVW. They got discovered since OVW. Blah, blah, blah. They're from Southpaw Regional Wrestling. Okay. I have no idea. It seems like they're both pretty new into it, to be honest with you. I don't know how old they are, because they do seem like they're older, but I don't know whether that's just what it is, I suppose. I've got no idea. me just Google, like, how old are the Outrunners? I feel like there's so much, like, canon story going on. Okay, there we go. Truth Magnum Turbo Floyd. Truth Magnum, whose real name is Shiloh Mount, was born in 1985, making him 39. While Turbo Floyd is unknown, but expected to be in his late 30s as well. So, yeah, I've got no idea where they've come from. They're completely brand new to me, apart from AEW, and I'll be honest, they've really just taken over the hearts of people. It looks like all they've ever done in the past is OVW, AEW, and Ring of Honor. That looks like it's all it, to be honest. Shiloh Mount. What's his name originally? Well, that's his real name. Shiloh Mount. People hate him. Just looking on Cage Match now, they've got some haters out there. Okay, no, they're not. Yeah, it's OVW basically. They've been on OVW for a very, very long time. From 2008 all the way through. They've just literally been there. Oh, they did wrestle back in Ring of Honor. Well, he wrestled back in Ring of Honor for 2 matches back a long time ago. Okay. So Truth Magnum wrestled a couple of singles matches for Ring of Honor back in 2011. Losing to both Tommaso Ciampa and Michael Elgin. Okay. And there is the winner then for the Young Bucks. This did turn into another random Google session, but it's always fun, isn't it? And the Young Bucks finally pick up a victory. It's been a very long time since I've said those lines, isn't it, really? But yeah, I want to utilise the Outrunners a bit more, I think. I think they could be very fun for us to utilise. And, I mean, there's not much we can. Like, when I've been looking at other stuff recently and we can link Sammy Guevara to AAA, for example, or stuff like that that's a bit more out there. The Outrunners literally going from Ring of Honor all the way through. I mean, we just looked at Truth Magnum. Let's look at Turbo Floyd. What's he been doing? Randall Floyd was his previous name. Let's look at his career highlights. Yeah, so same with him. I know he joined OVW back in 2017, so this tag team's probably only existed for those few years. Randall Floyd did wrestle in the WWE for 1 match. It was at a Raw event by the looks of it, and he was part of a jobbing team to take on the Lucha House Party. Apart from that, yeah, not really done much at all. So it is bizarre. They've just literally, I mean, they're not, don't get me wrong, they're not like homegrown, but they've literally just come out of nowhere, which is great. That's the main thing. Is they're sort of homegrown talents essentially. They're not really. They're homegrown from OVW, aren't they? But yeah, they're very bloody effective. Right, they go down in -1 on the tag team rankings, but say with them, I don't think they're ever going to top the tag team rankings at any point. I do think though it would be fun to utilise them against a host of legendary tag teams just to really get the best out of their gimmick. And as we come over then to the singles rankings, of course, Truth Magnum and there he is, Truth Magnum and Turbo Floyd both go down to a -1 in the singles rankings, while the Jackson 2, Nick and Matt, both with that tag team victory, move up to -3s in the singles division, and of course they move up to a, is it -2? Yeah, -2 in the tag team division. Still -1 for the year. They've still got a lot to do to get back to where they need to be. I mean, technically, we could utilise them as part of When Worlds Collide, I'm pretty sure, because they did they wrestled for NXT, didn't they? I think they might even before NXT was even on television, to be honest. So yeah, we could possibly use them, but I don't think we need to. I think TNA, NXT, WWE, AAA have got enough really good tag teams for us not to need to squeeze the Bucks in. We'll save them for a later date then, I think. Anyway, that is all for this match. We've got some more big matches coming up for you today. Next up, then, we will have... Where are we? We're going to go for a bit of Tiger Mask versus Tiger Style as Tiger Mask takes on Lee Moriarty. We have got Ultimo Guerrero going one-on-one against Mitsuharu Misawa. A real legendary clash, that one. One of the legends of CMLL versus one of the legends of New Japan. Underground match between Marina Shafir and Suri. That should be interesting. Suri currently bottom of the women's rankings, but is one of the top female wrestlers of all time. Deserves to lift herself off the bottom of the rankings, but Marina Shafir in an underground match is not going to be easy at all. Before the main event of the day, Konosuke Takeshita takes on one of his idols in the shape of El Generico. I'm going to love you, leave it in. Good night, God bless. I'll be the same. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.